health, wealth, love, and happiness. Imagine 10,000 years ago. You're a human navigating a world teeming with predators like saber-toothed cats, wolves, lions, tigers, and bears. Every day you're at risk of becoming prey. These creatures don't hold a personal grudge against you. They are simply driven by their own survival instincts. If they don't hunt, they won't eat, and their survival depends on this relentless cycle. To survive, you must constantly be vigilant. Use your intelligence to outmaneuver them and work together with your tribe to protect yourselves from becoming a meal. Now, fast forward to today in the 21st century. The landscape is different, but the underlying forces are similar. Large corporations, especially in the food industry, operate like these ancient predators driven by an insatiable need for survival and growth. Their hunger is not for food, but for profit, market share, and dominance. Just like predators, they will do what is necessary to stay alive and thrive in the competitive environment, even if that comes at the expense of consumers or smaller competitors. Direct comparisons. 1. Predatory instincts. 10,000 years ago, predators hunted humans and other creatures to eat and survive. It wasn't personal. It was just the way the food chain worked. Today, corporations hunt consumers to maintain profits. They compete fiercely for your attention and your dollars. They push for constant growth, which often involves aggressive marketing, monopolistic practices, and mass production, sometimes at the expense of consumer health or environmental sustainability. They don't care about you as an individual. Their aim is survival in the corporate landscape. 10,000 years ago, the weakest members of a herd or isolated individuals were often the easiest prey for predators. They would be singled out, chased down, and eaten. Today, large corporations often target vulnerable consumers, especially through unhealthy food products or misleading advertising. They offer highly processed, addictive foods packed with sugars, fats, and artificial ingredients that exploit people's natural cravings. These foods are marketed aggressively, often in ways that prey on low-income communities or children, leaving people hooked on unhealthy choices. 10,000 years ago, predators would control certain areas, making it dangerous for humans to live or hunt in those places. If you wandered into the wrong territory, you could be in serious danger. Today, corporations control large parts of the food industry. They dominate grocery store shelves, advertising space, and even lobbying power in governments. They shape the food landscape in such a way that healthier, more ethical choices are often harder to access or more expensive, making it difficult for smaller companies to survive or compete. 10,000 years ago, both humans and predators had to be adaptable to survive. Whether it was creating new tools for hunting or learning to avoid certain predators, adaptation was key. Today, small businesses, like small animals in the wild, often have to adapt quickly or find niche markets to survive. While large corporations dominate most of the landscape, smaller companies must innovate, offering unique, ethical, or local alternatives to carve out their place in the ecosystem. However, those that can't keep up with the ever-evolving demands of the marketplace are often swallowed up or pushed out. 10,000 years ago, early humans banded together to fend off predators. Cooperation, shared knowledge, and working in tribes were essential to survival. Without community, individuals were vulnerable. Today, consumers, activists, and smaller businesses often have to band together to push back against the overwhelming power of large corporations. Through collective action, such as supporting local farms, buying organic, or promoting ethical practices, communities can regain some control over their food choices. Governments and organizations also play a role in regulating corporations to prevent them from exploiting resources or customers too ruthlessly. Consumer manipulation versus instinctual survival. Predators 10,000 years ago used their instincts, stealth, strength, and speed to catch prey. Humans had to rely on their intelligence and teamwork to survive. Corporations use data, psychology, and manipulation to catch their prey. They use advertising, behavioral economics, and consumer data to understand how people think and what drives them, then use that knowledge to make their products irresistible. Just as predators targeted the weak, corporations target impulse buyers, children, or people looking for convenience, trapping them in cycles of consumption that are difficult to break. Environmental impact. 10,000 years ago, when a predator killed, the impact on the environment was balanced. Ecosystems were cyclical. There was a natural equilibrium. Today, large corporations often extract resources in ways that throw off this natural balance, leading to deforestation, pollution, and climate change. The hunting they do, whether it's for cheap labor, land, or ingredients, can leave permanent scars on the environment. How can you survive in the 21st century? Just as your ancestors developed strategies to avoid becoming prey, modern individuals need strategies to avoid falling into corporate traps. Here are some modern survival tactics. 1. Awareness. Know the tactics corporations use to hook you. This could be through learning about food labels, understanding marketing ploys, or being conscious of the environmental and health impact of your purchases. 2. Choosing your battles. Just like early humans had to avoid dangerous territories, today you can avoid certain brands or products that are harmful, choosing instead to support ethical, sustainable alternatives. 3. Building community. Just as tribes helped one another survive, modern consumers can work together to promote healthier and more sustainable food choices. Supporting local farms, community-supported agriculture, CSA, and ethical brands helps create a system that benefits the many rather than the few. 4. Advocacy. Governments and organizations have a role in protecting consumers, just like how some animals defend their herd. Advocating for stricter regulations on corporations can help curb exploitative practices. In the end, while the nature of the predator has changed, the fundamental struggle for survival, whether it's in the wild or the modern marketplace, remains. The challenge is to adapt and find ways to navigate a world where powerful forces are competing for their own survival at your expense. So, are you going to lay down and be killed and eaten for their survival? Or are you going to fight back and live? Always remember I love you and only want the best for you.